So, we're talking about angels this morning. You will notice a theme as we go through the day. So the first thing I want to do is just a little bit of a metaphysical interpretation of that verse that I read before, those verses I read before. So Jacob went out into a strange land that was not his home, right? How many times do we go out into a strange land that is not our home? Pretty much every day. And he took one of the stones that was there and he used it for a pillow. So he went out into a strange land, but he took something that was of that land and made it his own. And when he made it his own, he was able to relax into it and go to sleep. Ooh, beautiful. And he had a dream, and in the dream he saw that ladder reaching up into heaven and angels coming up and down and up and down and up and down. That doesn't need much interpretation. Okay? We are constantly receiving messages from our higher self, from a higher plane, from our higher power, and sending messages up. For me, a lot of days, the messages up are help, and the message down is relax. Okay? That may have been similar to what was happening with Jacob, I don't know. But then the Lord came to, he saw it, the Lord was by his side. The Lord, I know, that's old language, but it just means the highest part of you, your higher power. God of Abraham, God of Isaac, the God that is God of every single person is basically what it's saying, because your higher self is no different from my higher self. We are both tapping into the same one presence, one power, one people, one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. So he sees it. That's the difference. Not that the Lord was by his side or that the Lord was with him, but that he saw it. And he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I didn't notice it. That's the number one lesson of today. I'm going to say it several times. Pay attention. Pay attention so that you can notice it. And God said to him, your seed, the things that you produce in this world, your creativity, your love, your kindness, your expression of who you are, your individual nature, will spread out all over the earth. The love that you have has no end. It goes everywhere. It goes everywhere and will be a blessing to all families on earth. All families on earth. No private good. There's no such thing as private good. If it's truly good, it's good for all. And truly I will be with you and keep you wherever you go, guiding you back again to this land, and I will not give you up until I have done what I said. Can you just breathe into that for a minute? I will not give you up until I've done what I said. There is that in you, just as Darla so beautifully prayed about in the beginning, is that it is important for us to have compassion for ourselves when we find ourselves falling short, because we will. We will. And yet, there is that within us that does not give up. Not, I'm going to keep on you until you get this right, but I'm always here. You're always held. You're always right. You're always perfect in the sight of God. And you're doing some experimentation on this planet that doesn't always work out the way we'd like it to, right? Can we hold it that lightly? Is it possible for us to hold it that lightly? Because that part of you will not give you up. Will not give you up. I talked about last week about learning to not abandon yourself. It will not give you up. And you will be led again and again. If you walk away from this place, you can be led back to it again and again and again. And awe came onto him and he said, this is a holy place. Where's the holy place, y'all? Wherever you're standing at this moment. That's the holy place. He didn't have to go to Haran or be on a rock out in the desert somewhere. The holy place goes with him wherever he goes. Your holy place goes with you wherever you go. Don't ever think you're not in a holy place. If you think you're not in a holy place, you're just not paying attention. So notice, that's the lesson here. So the song that we sang earlier starts out with kind of a woo-woo story about an angel that appeared. Mama didn't see him, but he was standing there. How many people have had an angelic experience that was like, yeah? A few of you. Yeah, a few of you. I am not a very woo-woo person. I tend to be pretty practical and down to earth, but I am not ever going to say that someone else didn't have an experience that they had. I've had a couple of interesting woo-woo experiences myself in my life. I'm not going to go into them here, but a couple of experiences that were kind of unexplainable. Other than that, I believe that there's another realm that's present with us at all times. Always, always. And sometimes we're open to paying attention to it. And sometimes we're not open and we're not paying attention. So angel simply means messenger. It's from the Greek angelos, which means messenger. Not messenger of God, just messenger. Just whoever's bringing the message is the angel. Guess what? Everybody in your life can be the angel. Everybody in your life can bring the message. In the Bible, they're variously called workers. In Psalm 103, give praise to the Lord, you his angels who are great in strength, doing his orders, waiting for his voice. Angels are the carers, the caregivers. In Psalm 91, for he will give you into the care of his angels to keep you wherever you go. Angels are messengers, and angels exist not just in Christianity, not just in Judaism, in the Hebrew Bible, but angels in Islam, in some forms of Buddhism and Hinduism. Angels are also known. They're known as spiritual beings. They're known as intermediaries between the divine and the human realm. Well, guess what? You are your own intermediary. Like, you may get one from outside every now and then, which is a great help. But in the end, you are your own intermediary. You are your own angel. And you are an angel for other people on this earth. So in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, written by Charles Fillmore, founder of Unity, he says, angels are our spiritual perceptive faculties, the parts of us that understand spiritual principles and then inform our minds and bodies of the spiritual truth. So there is that within us that is always on the higher plane, and sometimes our minds and bodies are open to be informed by that. So that's what an angel is. So I had by the way, I want to hear your angel stories, not right this minute, but come tell me. I'm very interested in hearing. I'm going to tell you a story that I've told before, but it's been a while, about when I was about probably 7. My brother and my sister and I were out in the front yard. I was in a tree, which is where I often was when I was 7. And could see this lady walking down the street, and when she walked past our yard, you had to go in through a gate to get into our front yard. As she was about to walk past our yard, she suddenly turned into the yard, opened the gate, came in, picked up my 3-year-old sister around the middle and started like this with her. And I freaked out. I dropped down from the tree. My brother and I went running inside the house saying, "Daddy, Daddy, someone's trying to kidnap Cindy." And my dad jumped up and ran out onto the front porch and immediately went. And we were like, is he okay with this? What's going on here? Of course, my dad as an adult could immediately see that the woman, who was really a teenager, who had picked up our sister, had Down syndrome. And so he very kindly said, "Honey, you need to put her down. We have to ask people before we pick them up. It's time for the kids to go inside, but maybe you could come back another day and play with us. Would you like to do that? What's your name?" She said, "Kathy." He said, "Well, thank you, Kathy. Let's come back another day and play with us." And he brought us into the house and he said, "Kathy might be an angel. Came into your life today to teach you how to treat people who are different from you." And to this day, I cannot see a person with Down syndrome without immediately going, "Angel, angel." And one of my first jobs out of high school was to be a teacher's aide for a special ed class, and I had angels all around me all the time, all day. And it was glorious. And that was a gift my dad gave to me. So Kathy was an angel. My dad was an angel that day. I've told you some devil stories about my dad. That was an angel story about my dad. Angels are whatever you think they are. They are the message you get when you're paying attention. My dad was paying attention that day, and he shared the message with us. So, are you checking your messages? Because you have email and you have Gmail. You have your earth mail. You have your God mail. Okay? And both of them have angelic messages for you. Everyone on earth is your teacher if you're willing to learn. And you are constantly receiving messages from the highest part of yourself. Constantly, if you're paying attention. So what is the message here? The message is pay attention. It's to start to learn, to know, to be aware. Everyone is your teacher. So your homework, I'm going to give you a few assignments. Your homework is when you go out in the world today, and I'm going to say anybody, just listen. Anybody you meet, even the person you're driving home in the car with, who you have learned not to think of as an angel, perhaps. Start looking at them as if they might have an angelic message for you, because I promise they do. They do. Even more, or maybe it's the same person, I don't know. Even more, whoever really makes you mad today, whoever frustrates you, whoever stands in your way, whoever is rude, whoever you wish wasn't there, immediately that you feel that angst inside of yourself, go, oh, there's a message here. There's an angel in front of me who can't make change and is wasting my time. Right? Or there's an angel in front of me. I'm getting to face the fact that I am impatient and allow my body to have a physically angry reaction to something that doesn't mean a hill of beans. Right? How many things do we allow ourselves to get upset about that are not worth our upset, that are not worth giving up our serenity, that are not worth giving our peace away? Everyone can be an angel. And here's the other thing. After you are walking around assuming that everyone has a message for you and paying attention, assume that it is all for your good. Okay? It's not just a message, it's a message for your good. However, how the message is received, the message is given as it's given. How the message is received is completely up to you. What is your perception? Because what we tend to do is to assign motive, especially to people that are inconveniencing us or that are angering us, or even, y'all, that we see doing things in the world that seem patently not good, cruel even. Is there a message for you there? Could there be a message for you there? Because here's what I know. No one goes out and is cruel to other human beings because they woke up this morning going, I feel great about myself. I feel so loved. I feel so full. I'm so grateful that I've had so many people in my life that have led me to this place where I can actually take in love and feel it for myself. Wow. Wow, am I fortunate. Those angels. And know that the person whom you are judging, even the worst of the worst, doesn't have that somehow. Now, we could go into, is it their fault? It's their perception? Yeah, it is. It's all our perception. We're all perceiving all the time. But any thought that leads us to a more compassionate place is a thought that heals us from the inside. And the more healed people are in the world, the more the world heals. The more judgmental people there are in the world, the more the world judges. And so when we react to cruelty with judgment, it doesn't mean you don't use your discernment and say, I will do everything in my power to keep that from happening. What is mine to do here? Ask that question, what is mine to do? Ask, that's one of your homework questions in a minute. But it's about perception, and anything that can lead you to compassion is good, not just for you, but for the planet, because we are one people, one planet, one family, one. And every moment of frustration and anger and judgment and meanness and sarcasm and nasty little response on a post puts more nasty little responses into the world. Is that what you want to put in the world? So that's your question. It's your choice. You get to perceive how you receive. So then once we get to that point where we recognize that that it's all about perception, then we can start to welcome, not just, okay, does anybody, but welcome. God, I'm ready for some messages today. I want to learn something. I don't want this day to be ruined. I don't want this day to just happen however it happens. I'm going to go looking for the good in my day. I'm going to go looking for the good in people. I'm going to go looking for the good in traffic. I'm going to go, this was as I was walking this morning, because I always know what it is I'm going to preach about, and I'm always preaching to myself because it's what I need to hear. Y'all just happen to be here. But I was thinking, what I call low-hanging fruit, which is something that is all cost, no benefit. If I get mad at something that only costs me and there's absolutely no benefit to being mad at it, which means there's nothing I can do to change it, then boy, is that wasted energy. And one of the pieces of low-hanging fruit that I just let bug me all the time, and I was working on it this morning on my walk, it is hot and it is muggy. It is so muggy that the sweat does not evaporate. It just stays on my skin, and I feel hotter and more miserable all the time. I noticed myself doing that, and I was like, low-hanging fruit. The weather is what the weather is. It's going to be what it's going to be. I can either spend energy resisting the truth of what is and is going to be no matter what I do, or I cannot spend energy resisting that. I can spend my energy doing something else. And so I was consciously trying to spend my energy going, it's hot, it's Texas in August, what'd you expect? It's just hot. And I am not hot. Only my body is hot. There is that within me which stands back and observes what's happening to my physical self. And it doesn't mean I like what's happening to my physical self. I still don't like to sweat. I probably never will. But there was that part of me that was able to stand back and go, it's just sweat. You're going to take a shower either way, right? I relaxed into it. Does that mean I love the weather? No. But I relaxed into it, and I watched myself relax into it, and I asked, what is the message here? The message is, wherever I go, there I am. I can find something to complain about when nothing bad is going on, right? I'm just walking in the neighborhood under beautiful oak trees with my sweet, mostly well-behaved dog beside me, and I can make up something to be upset about. So I'm choosing in this moment not to make up something to be upset about. I'm choosing to welcome the whatever the kinder thought is. There's a verse in Hebrews. Be not forgetful to entertain or show hospitality to strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware. I love that phrase, angels unaware, because we are unaware. And we may be entertaining angels unaware. We may be giving hospitality to angels unaware. I hope we are. But we also may be rejecting and judging and pushing away angels unaware. And so, awareness. That's all I was asking for on my walk this morning. Help me be more aware. Help me be more aware. And I was immediately aware of my resistance to what was happening. And then here's the deal. Thank you, God, that this is true. I don't have to figure it out myself. I can ask for help. Ask for help. As long as my ego is in charge, my ego thinks it already knows. Or my ego is yelling, me do, like a toddler. But if I allow something higher within me, I can go, you know what? You think you know. What if there is, by the way, what if there is so much more to know? And simply by the thought that I know, I am cutting myself off from getting to know any of the so much more that there is. So ask for help. It's a beautiful prayer. And I know in New Thought we don't supplicate. We don't say, oh, please, God, please, 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 please. We affirm what we want. But I tell you what, asking for help is a way of opening your heart to all of the good that there is. Ask for help. I know that there is guidance for me. I know that there are messages coming to me all the time. I know that my higher self knows something that it hasn't let my ego self in on yet. I know that that's true. So what if I ask or simply say, I'm open. I'm open to the messages, wherever they come from. Did they come from somebody else coming down the street toward me? Maybe. Do they come from the sky above? Do they come from my own inner self? All kinds of ways they can come. Do they come from my dog? Dogs are angels. Sometimes they're fallen angels. But they're angels. If you allow them to be. If you allow them to be, everybody is. So ask for help. That is something, as I was preparing for this sermon, I read this really woo-woo book that was just all stories about angelic experiences in all these different people's lives and how they were in a car and somebody hit them and they spun around and suddenly a being appeared before them and took over the wheel and they got safely to where they were going. Or just, all of these actual interventions that were being described. And I tend to be very skeptical of those interventions, mostly because does that mean that God's not going to intervene for everybody, but just a chosen few? I don't believe that. I reject that outright. And yet, something that I did notice in reading is that every person who said they got this help asked for it. Actually sent up a thought, I need help. I don't know if they're true stories or not. Doesn't matter to me. But I know that if I ask, I'm more likely to receive than if I don't ask. Not demand, but ask. Finally, you are the messenger. You are the angel. What kind of message are you giving? Because sometimes it's easier, a spoonful of sugar helps the messenger go down. You're going to be a message either way. So what kind of message do you want to be? Do you want to be a dire warning? Or a message of hope? A message of peace? A message of calm? A message of welcome? There are inner promptings that you have all the time. You have the choice whether to listen to them. You have the choice whether to take action on them. I'm going to leave you, and I don't get biblical very often, but today you're just in luck or in hell, whichever way you tend to look at this. In Matthew, come you who have the blessing of my Father into the kingdom made ready for you before the world here. It's not somewhere out there. Come into the kingdom of peace. Come into the kingdom of love. Come into the kingdom of serenity. Come into the kingdom of knowing that everything is okay. For I was in need of food, and you gave it to me. I was in need of drink, and you gave it to me. I was wandering, and you took me in. I had no clothing, and you gave it to me. When I was ill or in prison, you came to me. And then the upright will answer, Lord, when did I see you in need of food and give it to you, or in need of drink? And when did I see you wandering and take you in, or without clothing and give it to you? And when did we see you ill or in prison and come to you? And he will make answer and say to them, truly I say to you, because you did it to the least of these my brothers, you did it to me. So the kindness that you show should never be based upon whether another person deserves your kindness, right? That's just your judgment and your perception. What I pose to you is that you deserve to be a kind person and to reap the rewards of what that is. So as you go out into the world today, listen for the messages and don't forget to ask. I'm going to now ask Joe and Beth to come up here with me, and we're going to sing another song for you.
Thank you, Rob.
You are welcome.
Cries high above, you can hear the church bells start to ring, and the heaviness of the body settles in. Somewhere you can hear a mother sing. Then it's one foot, then the other, as you step out on the road. Step out on the road. How much weight, how much? Then it's how long and how far and how many times. Oh, before it's too late. Calling all angels, calling all angels, walk me through this world, don't leave me alone. Calling all angels, calling all angels, we're trying and we're hoping, but we're not sure how. Oh, and every day you gaze upon the sunset with such love and intensity. Why, it's almost as if you could only crack the code and you'd finally understand what this all means. Ah, but if you could, do you think you would trade in all the pain, the suffering? Ah, but then you'd miss the beauty of the light upon this earth and the sweetness of the living. Calling all angels, calling all angels, walk me through this one, don't leave me alone. Calling all angels, calling all angels, we're trying and we're hoping, but we're not sure why. Calling all angels, calling all angels, calling all angels, calling all angels, walk me through this one, walk me through this one, don't leave me alone. Calling all
and we're calling,
'cause we're not sure how this goes.
So, thank you. Let's, I know that gets me every time. Let's take that into a short meditation, shall we? I'm just going to ask you to sit and breathe and call all your angels. As you breathe in, know that you are receiving an angelic message. The message is, life is yours. You're being given it in every breath. Meister Eckhart said that God did not create the world, that God is on the birthing bed every day, giving birth over and over and over and constantly. And so as you call on your angels, angels from without, angels from within, angels from above, angels from below, they're all angels. As you call on those angels, then consciously open and welcome them in. I'm open to hear the message. I am open to hear the message. I am open to receive. I am open to give. Welcome. And in this moment of openness, just allow whatever message wants to come forth. There's no wrong one. There's just either listening or not listening. So in this moment, we're listening. We asked, and we're being given. And sometimes messages come in the form of pain. And sometimes they come in the form of hope. And sometimes they come very straightforwardly, like a stop sign. And sometimes they come more subtly. What are the messages from your higher self? And what messages can you give to yourself? Your body is sending you messages. Are you listening? And what messages are you sending your body because it is listening? You can come to this place of openness, of calling, of asking, of welcoming at any time, any day, any moment. And even as we leave this meditation, that doesn't mean the messages stop. You can carry this openness with you into the next room, into the next conversation, into the next step you take. there are angels among us, within us, around us, above us, below us, living life as us. And so it is.